CBI responded to assist Frederick PD in this case on the 14th of August 2018. Agent Galbraith interviewed ADDY Moloney by phone on the 15th of August 2018. ADDY Moloney is a good friend of Shanann Watts, co-worker and friend. ADDY Moloney spent time with Shanann Watts in Arizona over the weekend, August 10 to 12, 2018. On the 15th of August 2018 at 9:34 hours, I spoke with ADDY Moloney by phone. ADDY met Shanann Watts about 3 years ago through her employment with Lavelle.com. Shanann is part of ADDY's team with her home-based business. ADDY and Shanann were friends and Shanann confided in ADDY Moloney. ADDY lives in Westminster, Maryland, and the two stay in touch via phone, texts, FaceTime, and social media, Facebook, Instagram. ADDY was with Shanann in Scottsdale, Arizona for a Thrive conference over the weekend of the 10th of August 2018 to the 12th of August 2018. ADDY dropped Shanann and Nicole Atkinson off at the airport in Arizona at about 5:45 to 6 o'clock hours on the 12th of August 2018. That was the last time ADDY saw Shanann. The next morning no one heard from Shanann, which was very unusual. ADDY learned of this at about 12:45 hours, Mountain Time. ADDY described Shanann as an amazing mom, the kind that everyone wants to be. She was so on top of things and very loving. Things between Shanann and Christopher Watts seemed perfect until a few weeks ago. They had always been very happy together before a few weeks ago. They adored each other. They had great kids that were joyful and there were no issues. ADDY said that there may have been some financial things. But Shanann has been extremely successful with her home-based business. In June 2018 Shanann went to North Carolina with the girls, Bella and Celeste Watts. While Shanann was in North Carolina, she felt that Chris was distant. He told her he did not want the baby, which Shanann was pregnant with, and he felt he and Shanann were not compatible. Chris would not give Shanann a reason for why he started to feel this way. Shanann confided that Chris was very different the past 3 weeks. ADDY reported that Shanann put a video on social media she had recorded of her telling Chris that she was pregnant. ADDY's husband watched it and felt that Chris was less than thrilled of the news given Chris's reaction. ADDY told me that she has no doubt that Chris did this and it was due to whatever was going on with him. Shanann told Chris that she did not feel safe with him after he told her he did not want their baby, and especially after Chris would not even hold Shanann when she was hurting from what Chris was telling her. ADDY thought it was around the 8th of August 2018 that Shanann shared this information with her by text message. ADDY described Shanann as extremely successful with her Lavelle business. She recently hit the $80,000 mark and ADDY estimated that Shanann was making between $80,000 to $100,000, a 6-figure income on her own, not including Chris's income. ADDY said that Shanann would have likely been making next to nothing for the first couple years, but this year hit the $80,000 mark. Income is all commission-based, but Shanann was doing very well. ADDY said it is hard for her to tell really what Shanann was making. In Arizona, Shanann was a wreck. This wasn't typical for Shanann, because to ADDY, Shanann is always polished and pulled together, a ray of sunshine. Shanann looked broken. Cassandra Cassie Rosenberg shared a room with Shanann for the conference and agreed with ADDY in that she had never seen Shanann like this. On Saturday night, the 11th of August 2018, Shanann was very distraught and shared that Chris had supposedly gone to a Rockies game and then out to eat. There was a $62 charge that Shanann was alerted to. Chris told her he ordered salmon and a beer. This amount seemed for more than one person to Shanann. ADDY tried to suggest that maybe Chris bought beer for his friends. Shanann believed that Chris would tell her if he bought beer for friends. ADDY said Nicole Atkinson would know which restaurant the charge was at. They went online to look up the prices for beer and salmon and things did not add up. Chris eating salmon was not weird because that is what he eats, according to Shanann. ADDY said that she would have never in a million years thought that Chris would cheat on Shanann until a few weeks ago when he changed. ADDY asked if she had gone through Chris's phone, and Shanann had not and said that he would not be that stupid to have evidence of an affair in his phone, though Shanann had recently seen Chris deleting messages between him and his father. Addie was aware of a severe falling out between Shanann and Chris's parents. Celeste has a tree nut allergy. Shanann went to North Carolina to visit with her family and Chris's family. Shanann had provided Cindy Watts, Chris's mother, a list to shop for food items for their visit due to Celeste's allergy. Cindy did not abide by the list and purchased generic items that contained things or were made in places where things were made that Celeste could not eat. Shanann ended up shopping for food for Celeste. Cindy served ice cream with nuts in it to the other cousins and Celeste threw a fit not being able to have it. Shanann told Cindy that she could have bought different ice cream or waited until bed to serve it to the other kids. Cindy told Celeste that her mother would not let her have the ice cream. Cindy told Shanann that it was a good lesson for Celeste to experience that she does not get what she wants. Shanann had indicated that Chris was supportive of her over the matter involving Celeste's allergy and his mother, but then submitted to his mother. Chris's parents have not liked Shanann. I asked Addie if there was anyone else she felt needed to be looked at, besides Chris, in this matter. She told me that she really hoped it was not Chris, but there is no one else she knows of. Addie told me that when Nicole got to the Watts house, it was locked up from the inside out. Addie was on the phone with Nicole. The garage was the only way to have left. Shanann's car was in the garage and the only way to have left would be to have hit the garage button and run out the closing garage door. Addie said that Shanann would have never left her things in the house like that. Addie thinks Chris hid Shanann's phone so that she could not call for help. She thinks that something happened in the bedroom as she had knowledge that the sheets were stripped from the bed. I asked Addie to please guard the information she was made privy to by being on the phone with Nicole at the start of this investigation. She agreed, but told me that much of the information is out, as many of the friends were concerned and trying to locate Shanann. I asked Addie about any changes in Chris that Shanann may have mentioned. Chris was working out more for sure. He started with running and then incorporated lifting weights. He was really getting into fitness. Addie last saw Chris in June 2018 in San Diego at a conference with Shanann. The time before June was in January 2018 and his body totally transferred from dad bod to buff in that time period from January to June. Addie said Chris looked amazing. Shanann never mentioned that Chris was working more or spending time away from home. Chris had always adored Shanann. Addie's husband adores Addie and she and Shanann would joke about how truly fortunate they were, that their husbands wanted to be with them and spend time with them. At dinner in Arizona, Addie wanted to talk about Shanann's relationship matters. Shanann had not told Cindy DeRossett about the matters between her and Chris, but did share with her at this time. It was known that Shanann is the one that wears the pants in the relationship and Chris goes along with Shanann's decisions. Shanann said that Chris made a comment recently stating he wished she would just let him hang a picture one time without her telling him where it goes. Shanann replied, "Okay," and realized that she needed to make some changes. She had not realized that she was controlling. Shanann wanted to change to help her marriage. The friends talked with her about trying to save her marriage. The only thing Shanann could think of working on was possibly her being controlling and she wanted to work on that. Addie knew Shanann to have a white 2018 Lexus 350. She was under the impression that Chris also drove the vehicle when they went places together. Chris also drove a dark blue work truck. Shanann never mentioned that she rode in the truck. Addie knew that Shanann was married once before, but she did not know much about him. Addie stated that Shanann's ex-husband's new wife joined Lavelle a while back and then she fizzled out. Addie had no information about the ex-husband or the new wife other than she grew up in the same town Shanann did. Shanann did not have benefits through Lavelle. She earns commissions, $800 per month car allowance and a couple trips a year paid for by Lavelle. Shanann never mentioned having life insurance policies. Addie told me that she has a friend that is a medium and that she believed Shanann was gone as she came to her in spirit. I told Addie that she can have the friend contact me if she had viable information, if she wants. I assured her that there was no desire to contact with a medium in this investigation at this point, though. Addie agreed to go through her text correspondence with Shanann and forward screenshots. The phone interview was concluded at 10:21 hours. I subsequently received screenshots of text messages between ADDY and Shanann and ADDY and Chris. ADDY also sent me a screenshot of an email Chris responded to on the 15th of August 2018 to state that he was in on a fantasy football league. Text synopsis. Shanann and ADDY chat back and forth in text messages. On the 6th of August 2018, Shanann asked how ADDY and Scott are. ADDY says she does not even know where to begin. Shanann discloses that she and Chris are not well. She tells ADDY it involves his parents and that she has cried every day since she has been there. This is when Shanann, the girls, and Chris were in North Carolina. On the 7th of August 2018, Shanann tells ADDY that he is scared to death about the third baby, is happy with just 2 and does not want another baby. ADDY suggests that Chris is just scared and that it will be fun once the baby comes. Shanann tells ADDY that Chris has changed and Shanann does not know who he is. He has not touched or kissed her all week. He has not talked to her except when she was trying to figure out what was wrong with him. Shanann said that he had been distant since she left. Shanann had an appointment for 4D ultrasound and gender the following day and she said she was scared. Shanann told ADDY they have never had a problem like this in their relationship ever and that this was total left field. He has not asked about Shanann or the baby, though Shanann had been vomiting the other day. Shanann texted what Chris texted her, "I don't know where my head is at. I will fix it though." Shanann was concerned that Chris really does not love her anymore and that the following day would be 8 years since they started dating. On the 9th of August 2018, Shanann tells ADDY that Chris went to the appointment, but he was cold and says she has no idea what happened. ADDY suggests Shanann go through his phone to see if there is someone else. Chris was not receptive to counseling. He refused to hold Shanann, saying he was not there and could not. Shanann had been crying all week and she cancelled the gender reveal party she had scheduled. Nikki was just going to tell Shanann the gender. Shanann had asked Chris how this was a few months and how in love they were before she left for North Carolina. Chris told her he had a lot of time to think. Shanann addressed Chris and her talking about having another baby. He was excited and happy. Shanann said that she grabbed Chris's hand during the ultrasound and he did not grab back. Shanann said Chris rejected sex the first night they arrived there North Carolina, and the only thing she can think of is that he has another girl. The night before Chris told her that opposites attract, but this was not working out. Shanann asked ADDY how she makes him feel more compatible. If he is not giving her anything. He kept telling Shanann that he does not feel it anymore. He told Shanann she is not doing anything wrong and that it is all him. Shanann was considering calling Chris's mom to tell her she wants a relationship with them. Shanann said she thought Chris slept in the basement the night before. Shanann said it was taking everything in her to not flip on him, and them, his parents. Shanann told ADDY that 1 minute Chris agreed to go away with her for the weekend and then 30 minutes later deleted his Facebook account. Shanann said that she was trying to go with the flow and he was talking, being Chris, but was still very distant. They had a talk, which was the best they had and he was out for a run. On the 10th of August 2018, Shanann and ADDY are arranging to eat in Arizona and there is a miscommunication about when they are going. Shanann apologizes and blames 11 days of lack of sleep and stress. ADDY asked if things were going better and Shanann replied that things were going in the right direction. ADDY also forwarded screenshots of her text messages with Chris Watts. On the 17th of June 2018, ADDY wished Chris a happy Father's Day. On the 13th of August 2018 at 12:31 hours, Mountain Time, ADDY asked Chris if Shanann is okay and told him that everyone is worried. She told him it is not like her to not respond and they have not heard back from her all day. Chris replied that she went to a friend's house with the kids. He said she would not tell him where though, and said that he will update her once he got home. On the 13th of August 2018 at 15:46 hours, ADDY asked Chris what was happening and expressed worry. Chris did not reply. On the 13th of August 2018 at 18:48 hours, ADDY asked Chris for any news. Chris replied that cops searched his house up and down and are doing everything they can. She asked what could be happening and Chris said he had no clue. Chris told ADDY that he and Shanann talked that morning between 4 to 5 a.m. and when he left, she was still there. He told her that they checked his camera and the neighbor's camera. ADDY asked about Celeste's medication and Chris replied that all the meds were still there. ADDY expressed concern. Chris told ADDY that Celeste takes it every day, once a day. They have containers full of it downstairs. On the 14th of August 2018, ADDY texted Chris to say that she thinks people need to be out searching and asked if police mentioned search parties. He replied there were no search parties and that they told him not to just go out driving because he would not know what to look for. He told ADDY that there was still a chance in his mind that she was with someone he did not know of. He said he really hoped that was the case. He told her that the police have seen all the footage from cameras. He said he hoped they were all safe together. At 12:56 hours, he texted that he was talking with news crews that bombarded him all at once and he said he wanted to get everything out there. He said that dogs swept the house for scents. At 19:21 hours, Chris told ADDY he was talking with the FBI then. He replied on the 15th of August 2018 at 0:07 hours that he just got done with FBI and they have the case now. On the 18th of August 2018, ADDY shared with me that Shanann texted her screenshots of photos Chris sent to her on the 20th of June 2018, which was the date of Shanann's first sonogram, which Chris missed. She said that he was running from tornadoes and that was why he missed the sonogram. ADDY thought that the photos looked like the area in which the bodies of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste were found and wanted to forward them. On the 20th of August 2018, ADDY texted me about an email she gained knowledge of that Chris Watts responded to on the 14th of August 2018, which concerned her because he was missing his wife and children and talking with police on the matter when he responded. Chris received an email about fantasy football and was sure to respond that he was in during the time when his wife and children were missing.